Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Konamo Yin. This week I didn't work on my personal project. I was going to, however, I came across an MCP server tutorial that really got my attention, and then I just became obsessed the rest of the week with it. So I came across this great tutorial for someone that has never built an MCP server and just wants to get exposed for the first time. And I've done that in the past, but this tutorial had something very cool, and it was that through his MCP server he was able to provide context to his agents to see whether or not he had an appointment in his Google Calendar. And I was like, whoa, that's so cool. I've never done that. I followed along, but then once I was done with it, I was like, I would like to take this to the next level, because he was using a public calendar in order to make it easy for someone that is following for the first time. So what I did was I added a couple more things. So instead of using a public calendar, I made it that through using authentication, you're able to use your own personal Gmail account. And not only are you able to provide context to your agents to see whether or not you have an appointment, you are also able to create an appointment, and it adds it immediately into your Google Calendar, which I think is so cool. So let me give you a quick rundown. So as you can see here, we're going to work with October. There's a couple ways of doing this. So you have the option that we can do this the long way. So I can provide the context, create calendar events. Now we can just do it like this. So you would add the defined schema like the title, start date time, end date time, and description. And then once you add this, the agent will start working. And I want you to pay attention here, okay? So, and it's asking me for confirmation whether or not I want to add this into my personal Google Calendar. As you can see here, we have the title, going for dinner with my wife, the end date, time, and the description. So this is for the 23rd of October. So look what happens once I press continue, and boom, it does it automatically. The description, the title, going for dinner with my wife, it has the date, when it starts, when it ends, and then it has a quick description. And that's kind of cool, right? And then we can confirm through the agent, get my calendar by date. So let's say for October 23rd. Let's see what it does. And then it shows, here's your calendar, going for dinner with wife on this date, which is awesome. Now, as you can see this, it looks a little bit wordy. Like, do you have to write this all the time? No, that's the cool thing about MCP servers. We don't have to do that. We can use our natural language, create calendar event, and then we're just gonna do a prompt. Going for dinner with my wife on October 10th from 6 to 8. I guess this is a lot easier than what we were doing before, right? So we're gonna do that, and it's gonna ask me if I want to do that. We're gonna say yes. It's gonna add it here. On the 10th, it's a lot more easier than having to type the entire schema from scratch. I can just natural language, I can get this done. I had a lot of fun building this little project. I learned about how to authenticate, how to refresh a token. It was very fun. I've never even seen this concept like redline interface, because I don't usually access files through like the current working directory or through the file system. And today I was going over the code to make sure everything made sense. Something that I did as well, I created a YouTube video yesterday showing people how to work with MCP servers through VS Code, because I've noticed that a lot of the talks that I see and a lot of YouTube tutorials, people are usually using Cursor, which is a fork of VS Code, or they're using Claude Code and other editors. But me, I'm a VS Code guy, so I was like, you know what? Let me show people that you're able to work with MCP servers using VS Code, and you are able to do a lot of things with it. If you want to see the entire code of this project that I just showed you and how everything was done, I did a README file, which is very extensive. I'm grateful for Gemini and AI because I was able to do this a lot quicker. This goes over everything, and if you want to provide context to your agents regarding your Google Calendar with this project, you'll be able to do so. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.